Meanwhile, number-wise, we've all been counting to 1, 2, 3, 7, thinking that's how many delegates it takes to land the Republican nomination. We've known that for a while. But could the real number not be 1, 2, 3, 7, but be 1, 1, 0, 0, 1,100?
If Donald Trump exceeds 1,100 votes, he will become the nominee, even though he may not have 1237. If he gets less than 1,000 delegates, then I think we're looking at a contested convention that could go on for many, many days.
Okay, once he said that, people started saying, what is that about? Joining us here to discuss is the contributor for the Washington Examiner, Lisa Booth. Lisa, good morning to you.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, so as soon as Randy Evans said that, people go, wait a minute, are they changing the rules?
Right. And as with everything this election cycle, it's complicated. But 1,237 is still the number a candidate needs to get to win the nomination. They can either become the presumptive nominee, meaning that they get 1,237 before the convention, or it heads into a contested convention, which would be the first time in 40 years this has happened, where it does come down to the first, second, third, depending on what it takes to get a candidate there to that 1,237 number.
And I think he went on to explain that, okay, the number is still 1, 2, 3, 7, but if he had 1,100, there are a bunch of unbound delegates floating around, and some of those would probably wind up going into his column.
And you got it. And so that's sort of where he was leading, and that's what he meant.
He just left that part out.
He left that, which is a very important part. So, shame on you, Randy. No, just kidding. But, yeah, so you've got to get to that 1,237 number. So if he did get 1,100, that means he only has to get 137 out of unbound delegates. There's estimates that there's anywhere between 150 to 200. I think 180 is probably a safer number of these unbound delegates, and Pennsylvania is a great example.
Yes.
Coming up around the corner, there's 54 unbound delegates available there.
Well, the thing about Pennsylvania is people, and this is the first election cycle in my lifetime where people have been paying attention to the delegates.
Nobody paid attention before.
There are 71 delegates in Pennsylvania. The winner essentially gets 17 out of 71. And then those 54 are just floating around, and they can vote for anybody they want to.
Exactly. And so these unbound delegates are going to become really important, because if you do have a candidate like Donald Trump who gets to 1,100 but is 137 shy of that 1,237, which again is that magic number that you need to get, then you're going to be looking at some of those unbound delegates. You also have people like Marco Rubio who have dropped out of the race. He had around 171 delegates. So a lot of those delegates will also become unbound. So those delegates are going to be targeted as well.
Interesting stuff.
It's crazy.
Breaking it all down. Lisa Booth, thank you very much.
Thank you.